friends, today I wanted to just take some time to sit down with you and talk to you about baby number 2, or the potential for baby number 2. If you watched that Q&A video I did recently, I mentioned that we are trying for baby number 2, and I just wanted to sit down today and give you a bit of an update on what's been going on. Baby number 1 is currently napping, so hopefully I can get through this before he wakes up. I'm gonna try to make it quick. I don't have anything written down. I'm just kind of speaking from my heart and talking to you about some things that have been going on and kind of my feelings surrounding everything and some thoughts that I have on my mind. So bear with me. I hope this video isn't just all over the place. So I think where our journey begins with this is last year. So let's travel back in time to last year, right after Jameson was born. I remember just thinking that I didn't want another child. I, of course, my hormones were all over the place. I was recovering from a C-section and everything was just so overwhelming to me. I remember thinking that I didn't want any more kids. I remember thinking to myself, I don't want to do this ever again. I don't want to be induced again. I don't want another C-section. I don't want to go through this whole newborn phase again. Like, I am done. This is it. And I think that's probably a very common feeling that a lot of first-time moms have. And as time went on, of course, I had a change of heart. But initially, like the first 2 months, I was like, no way, never again. This is it. So once I came around to the idea of, yes, in the future, having more children is something I do desire, John and I kind of talked about the timing of when we wanted that to happen, or when we wanted to start to try at least. And initially I wanted to wait until Jameson was at least a year old before we really started trying. So for a while that was kind of my thought process with everything. John left when Jameson was 3 months old. He left for deployment and he didn't come back until Jameson was 7 months old. And well, that whole 1 year timeline that I had went out the window when John came back home. We were just like, let's just start trying now. So we started trying officially when I was 7 months postpartum. I got my cycle back when I was 8 months postpartum. So we have been trying ever since then. And I remember talking to John about this, kind of just how I was feeling about it. And I told him, like, I don't want to stress about this. I don't want to take ovulation tests. I don't really want to be tracking things. I just want it to be as stress-free as possible. And of course we have Jameson, so I am plenty busy, very much distracted from trying to focus too much on the TTC aspect of everything. And for the first several months I was very much just very carefree about it. I wasn't tracking things. I wasn't stressing out about it at all. But there was another deployment looming over our heads, and each month that passed by, we of course got closer and closer to that time frame. And the month before John left, I remember I was at the end of one of my cycles and I took a pregnancy test for the first time since I took a pregnancy test when I found out I was pregnant with Jameson. And it was negative, of course. And that was the first time. This was when, let's see, Jameson had already turned a year old. So this was in April of this year. And yeah, I remember feeling disappointed for the first time in this journey to a second baby. And at that point, that meant that we had one more cycle, one more chance to try and conceive a second baby before John left. And something about it being like the last time we could try before he leaves just kind of sent me over the edge. And I was like obsessing over tracking things and making sure we were going to plan things out and hit that ovulation window. And just, I really felt anxious and stressed out about, is this gonna work? Is it not gonna work? And I don't know, just the fact that we had, you know, just this one more chance before he leaves, it really just like sent me into that kind of crazy mode, so to speak. And so John ended up leaving like a few days after I had ovulated, and in my head I was just, I don't know, I was convinced that it was going to work this time. Like I was just so convinced in my head that this was it. This was the cycle. It was going to work. I was going to be pregnant and we would be having another baby soon. And I don't know why I thought that. I was so hopeful, and maybe it's just because I wanted to feel that hope and I didn't want to be thinking negatively. And about a week after I ovulated, I started taking tests every day. And each day I would take a test, it would be negative. I kept searching and hoping for like the faintest second line, and I never saw it. Each test I took was negative. And then my cycle started. And for the first time since before we had Jameson, I just got hit with like all of the flood of emotions from our previous infertility, and just wondering like, how is this journey to another child going to go? There was a part of me that was hoping that it would just happen right away, that we wouldn't have to stress about it. Like of course I'm gonna hope that it would just happen. And the fact that so far it hasn't been that way was just so disappointing. And when my cycle started this last month, I honestly just felt crushed. I felt crushed, and I'm sad because now John is on another deployment and we have to put everything on hold again. We have to put everything on hold until he's back home. And it just sucks. It just sucks. I was talking to John about all of this after I found out that we didn't have success this last cycle, and of course he was disappointed too. But he was so encouraging to me, and he told me to take this time while he's gone to speak to my OB. Maybe she wants to refer us out to a fertility specialist. So Jameson is now, he's about to be 15 months old. And so from 7 months postpartum all the way through 14 months postpartum is the time frame we were actively trying for another baby. So that's about 7 months of nothing happening. I don't know where that leaves us as far as our infertility goes. I know that when I had my C-section, my OB noted that there was endometriosis on my ovaries, on both of my ovaries. I honestly haven't been really feeling too many endo symptoms the last 7 months or so since I've had my cycle back, which I'm really grateful for that. I have noticed with each cycle that I start to get that endo belly bloat at a certain point in my cycle. So I feel like every single month it progressively gets worse. But I'm not really in a lot of pain other than just like the bloating that I'm having. So yeah, that's where we're at. 7 months of trying and no success. And now our journey is kind of put on hold until John gets back. So I'm definitely taking John's advice. I will be speaking with my OB about all of this. Maybe she'll want to see me for like an ultrasound or cycle monitoring or something like that. And who knows, maybe she will recommend that I be referred to a fertility specialist out here. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel so conflicted because obviously we have Jameson and I am so incredibly grateful for him, and I love waking up every day and getting to be his mom. It is the best feeling in the world. So I don't know what the future holds, and if he is all that we have as far as children goes, then so be it. I am forever grateful for him. So yeah, that's kind of just a little update for you guys. I hope all of that made sense. I was kind of just all over the place, I feel like. At least I was all over the place in my head. I think that's about everything I wanted to talk to you about today. If I do see my OB soon, I will definitely update you guys on what comes from that appointment. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you have experienced infertility and ended up having a baby, what was your journey like to another child? Did you struggle to conceive again, or was it much easier for you? I know I could get a variety of different answers to that, especially if you had to go through IVF. I know that's a very different situation than what I have gone through. But I would love to hear from you and hear your story. If you have any advice for me, I am, of course, always open and appreciative of that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again very soon.